Ayasaba makwala. Ayasaba makwala.
Good day, Zimbabweans. Good day, workers of Zimbabwe. Good day, Africans, wherever you are. All of you who are interested in labor justice, welcome to the Worker Voice program on labor justice. This is the first of the labor justice series, and we are looking at a said case. A teacher who has been dismissed by the Public Service Commission in Zimbabwe, and we want to hear what happened and what is happening to Gerald. So welcome, Gerald. May you briefly greet comrades and share your full name.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mtasa. Good day, Zimbabwe. Good day, Africa. My name is Gerald Tavengwa. I was a teacher in Gokwe South at a school called Mafunga Secondary School.
What is the name of the school again?
Mafunga Secondary School.
Where is it? Where is it in Zimbabwe?
It's in Gokwe South district, in Midlands.
Oh. Thank you. We've heard that you were dismissed. Would you kindly share what happened?
Yeah, so apparently I was being charged of absenteeism for a period of 1 year, 11 months. So after the hearing, which took place after 2 years of me trying to seek labor justice, they had to charge me with 357 days, which they said I was absent from duty. So I received the determination letter on the 8th with an instruction that I was no longer part of the Public Service Commission on the day of the 9th of November 2022.
I didn't hear the last part. May you finish up on the last part?
Okay, so I was saying I received a letter on the 8th of November 2022 with an instruction that I was no longer part of the Public Service Commission the following day, that was on the 9th of November 2022, charged with 357 days of absenteeism of the total 1 year, 11 months that I had been charged with in the first place.
All right. So were you not reporting for duty for that period?
So what happened is sometime in 2019, that is in October, November, I was chased away by some ZANU-PF hooligans. As you recall, the teachers' salaries have since depreciated in our country. So as we're trying to fight for the restoration of our salaries, we could, as a union, call for actions like an incapacitation. So the head and some local traditional leaders then met, and they discussed that I was now part of the old MDC. I was now a member of the regime change activist. So they said, when the teacher comes, please don't allow him to go into school. So they threatened my life. They threatened me to an extent that they said, if you return at this school, we might destroy your life. And I was frightened. So I tried to seek to talk to the head. He couldn't address me. I went to the district office, and I was asking for a transfer, just a simple transfer to go to move from that place that my life was not safe anymore. So what they did was they said transfers are only done on holiday. So please go back to your station. And I said, I can't go back because I fear for my personal security. And they said, we can't help you. Then come when school closed. So I decided not to go because of my fear. Then I went to my school on the last day of closing. Then I went to the district office where I was told that they couldn't transfer me now because I was supposed to face some disciplinary issues at work due to my absenteeism. And I said, well, it's okay, but as you know, I told you my story, and I have a letter in which the parents petitioned to say we don't need you at our school. You are not allowed to teach, to come at our school and teach our kids, because you want to teach our children the regime change narrative. And I said, if there are students that I've taught them, that narrative that you are saying, please bring them so that they can testify. So they couldn't do that. So it was just because I am a member of a certain union that the government views it's a regime change organization that, and they were listening to the state propaganda on radio. So they would just say, no, we always hear that you are bent on tarnishing the image of the country. So that was the basis of the argument.
Gerald, you mentioned something that the headmaster had to meet with the traditional leader. Where does the traditional leader fit in the education processes or in the educational labor matters?
Unfortunately, they don't fit anywhere near the matters of the education. But my headmaster is a local citizen in Kokwe, so you can influence decisions based on what he views, what he likes, and what they can even discuss at their family at level. So when I went to school, that is sometime in November, I can't seem to recall the days. He said you can't log in because the parents wants to talk to you. And I said, it's fine, I can wait. And by then the logbook was nowhere to be found. You could keep it in his own bag. You could make people to log in, just moving around saying you can log in. Our school is a small school. It is about 10 people. So you could manage to walk around making people log in and denying me that chance to do so. So as a teacher, I tried. Then they came. They had to meet again before even they called me. I think they met for about 2 hours. Then when it was about lunchtime, they called me. That's when they said, now we think you can just go and teach somewhere else, which is not at this place. Well, the people that came, I know them. Most of them, I might forget some of them, but most of them, especially the traditional leaders who were leading those, I know them. And most of those people are in the ruling party structures. They are chairpersons. They hold position in different structure of that organization. So I know them, and they was just saying, you know what, we are, as a nation, we don't want what you're doing. Us as the community leaders from this community, we are not allowing you to influence other teachers, because I was as a community mobilizer, I was talking to other teachers to say, guys, look, we used to get 540. Now our salary is below 100. Can we manage with this little? So they were saying it's you who is mobilizing people, because when this strike started, when this incapacitation started, you were going alone, but some might even say, today I'm not going because of incapacitation, then go the following day. So you're influencing. If we don't chase you from this place, all these people will follow you, and we will not get education. And I was saying, no, I'm not here to destroy education, but rather we are here to build it. Because if I go into the classroom with a hungry stomach, then it means I can't teach, I can't deliver the result that I'm required to deliver.
Yeah. So did you report to, you said you report to your employer. Your employer is Public Service Commission.
Yes.
You reported to your employer. Did you report to the police?
Yeah, when I went to the police to say, this is what has happened, at first they were saying, this issue you are speaking about, it's a bit political, we can't handle it. Then they said, then after further deliberations, they said, were you beaten? I said, no, but they threatened me and said, then how can we open a docket when you haven't faced any beating? It's just people who have said something, maybe to threaten you. And they said, yes, they've threatened, and I need security. I need you to provide it. And they said, no, we can act only if we can see, we can have tangible evidence that your life is in danger. By just saying what they've said, we can't help you. So I understood by myself that maybe the community leaders went there, maybe threatened, maybe talked to them. I don't know what they had done, but I just assumed that maybe I was a bit late because the community leaders had already traveled. So I just thought to myself, I think there was a hand of the people, the hooligans that came to my place. And the people who came into my place, most of them, we know their violent behavior, and most of them had, what can I say, we call it Simbo in Shona, and stones and whatever, just to show that they were serious. So, but they said, today, we are not doing anything. But if you remain at this school, then you are inviting trouble.
As a member of Amalgamated Raw Teachers Union, have you had incidences where teachers are threatened in other schools, or where teachers are brutalized, or where teachers are murdered in Zimbabwe?
Yeah, I can recall that only 2 days back. I'm forgetting the names, but we have 2 members who were abducted, and they managed to escape in Kokwe North now. So we have incidences of state planting its own agents to abduct our members. I can recall in 2019, our president, Obet Masararo, was abducted, not only once, but twice. Then on the 3rd time, they didn't find him. And when they wanted to say, no, we didn't do this, they were caught on the camera. So it's things that are happening in our union, in our country. And to add on, myself as a victim, when I went back, there was a time that I said, no, I love my jobs, I love my work. Of course, I'm not getting a salary for almost 2 years, but I need to teach the children. I went there, I started teaching, and I don't know what happened. Maybe it was my intuition. I just went away on that particular day. Then my home was destroyed. The doors were destroyed. My the windows were destroyed. Luckily, nothing was taken to show that it was a case of burglary, but it was just a case of showing that we told you that we don't want you to be at this place. And I think I tweeted it then that my house was destroyed. Then when we had the hearing, I was surprised that they didn't even mention it, that this person was living in danger, even though the other team that had come to investigate had mentioned that it was dangerous for me to live in that place. But when the disciplinary committee came and heard my case, I thought they were going to listen to it, but I was surprised that they just mentioned that I was absent from duty without good cause. And I don't know if me being threatened is not a good cause to them. Maybe they wanted me to die. That's what I just assumed, that maybe they were just saying, you teachers who demand for labor justice, we demand for a fair wage, you are now, the numbers are growing. I think some of you should die. It was not a good cause for you to not be at this school. You should have been there, face the music. That was I just thought when I received that termination.
All right. I must acknowledge and appreciate the situation that you are in. I know during my days as the Zimbabwe Congress of Trade Unions president, how we were haunted daily, and how when we called for a general strike, how the ruling party and state security broke into my home and abducted my nephew, 19-year-old, brutalized him for more than 3 hours in the bush, and asked him to walk back in pain, naked, to back home. So I know, and I've also known that each time when we have elections, teachers are in trouble. We know that many teachers died in 2007 during the political violence associated with the elections. So I think we need to really be very careful about your situation, and please don't respond to things that may put you in danger. If I ask you any question that may put you in danger, we want to secure your safety first. But let me ask this question, if it is okay with you and if it does not put you in danger. Are you at liberty to point out the people who threatened you by names if you know them?
Okay, so there is my headmaster is Enoch Madaka. Is the first person that I can point out. Then the traditional leaders, I don't know. The other one is Howard Manjonjo. I think he's a chairperson at ward level. Then there is the other ones, I'm forgetting their names, but they are all traditional leaders that are surrounding that place of Mapunga Secondary School. But okay. Howard, I know him because he was part of the people who came, and my headmaster was also there. He couldn't do anything. He was just holding his hands and laughing when the people were threatening me. So that's why I had to mention him.
Yeah, so it's quite sad, and because you were not able to go to work, and the employer did not do anything to protect you. The police also didn't do anything to protect you. Definitely, you had to secure your own life first, and you couldn't go in that dangerous place. What were the reasons? Did they proffer any reasons during the hearing why they did not consider all those issues all those facts that are so clear?
So unfortunately, on the hearing, the district schools inspector, Mr. Mpofu, didn't come. I don't know if he was invited or not. But the headmaster, at first, he tried to say I was lying until it was proven that I was not lying. And he just said, no, this case was now between Gerald Tavengwa and the parents. He was calling them parents. But I think from the petition that is written, I think for a school with about 200 to 300 people, only 30 were the people who wrote, who signed, who managed to sign it. Which means that it was not even the parents, it was not even something that was discussed at SDC level. So they didn't give satisfactory evidence to suggest why they didn't give me, why they didn't secure my security, to provide my security then. So I don't even know what was their main motive and agenda during all this. But what I can just say is I tried every avenue and it didn't yield any results, in any response from them.
Yeah. So are you appealing the decision?
Yeah, I'm appealing because it was an unfair treatment. It's an unfair determination to just fire someone who has been threatened at work. So I'm appealing against that decision at the Labour Court.
All right, we wish you good luck, and if you need any assistance from comrades who are listening, comrades in the trade union sector, we think they can also come in and assist you. If you don't mind, we can share, as we share this video, we can also share your phone number, so that those who want to assist you can assist you. So were you, the final thing, were you on salary for those months?
Since I haven't received a salary since December 2019. So as you have asked, my life is, I'm trying to make ends meet. Sometimes my comrades at tools try to help me, but as you know, we are all getting these RTGS salaries, so the amount that they can even give me won't even be sufficient to just pay rent. But they are trying, because I know a lot of our comrades in our tools, either their salaries ceased, they are on suspension. So now the source of funding now, because we are a self-funded organization now, it's now difficult for me to survive. Sometimes when I get maybe $10, I can just go somewhere and buy tomatoes and sell, because I'm trying to have a meal on the table, because now I can't have anything that I can say I have at the moment. I'm looking for, I run around, try to look for rent, try to look for food and stuff. So that's how I've been living for the past 3 years.
Yeah, it's terrible. We hope this matter will quickly be resolved and you get employed back at work. But just as the last question from me, what is the life of a teacher like currently? Firstly, when did you join the teaching fraternity, or were you exposed to how teachers' lives were when you were at school or during your childhood? How do you compare how teachers were in the current situation?
Right. Surprisingly, I'm a child of a teacher. So comparing the teachers then and the teachers now, I grew up wanting to be a teacher because I would admire my father. He could do anything for me. He could do everything. If I say I want to go to Harare, we're living in Rusabe, you could just say it's okay. If I say I want to go to eat in a hotel, you could manage that. But now, myself, I joined service in 2015 February. Then it was still, 2015 February. Then it was still okay because we're still we're receiving our US dollar salaries. by that time, I managed to buy my own furniture. I managed to buy a car, and I was planning that I would want in the next 2 or 3 years to have built a house. But all that now was destroyed when the RBZ governor introduced the bond. That is when all hell broke loose, and I was now trying. They will tell you. I still remember during Mugabe days when we would just say, "No, but you are giving us little. Please, can we just share from the national cake?" At one point, at a certain rally, said, "I was once a teacher, and if you see that teaching is not paying well, please go away. We have a lot of teachers." That was a very sad situation, especially for me, a young teacher who was looking for a brighter future then. And I thought I'm now in a profession that is more respectable. You know, now if you go to, I know a lot of people say a lot of things about Gokwe, how it is big compared to other regions. But in Gokwe, you will find people say, I can't be a teacher. I can buy a teacher a beer. I can buy a teacher anything. I can pay teachers. I can pay the whole school because they go to do goat panning, illegal goat panning. So
you touch on
now,
an important thing there. So how does that affect teachers in terms of their dignity, in terms of their relations in communities? If students mock teachers, if community people, persons in the community, the society mock teachers openly like that, that I can pay you your salary if I go and do gold panning, that we are taking care of teachers here because you are poor. How does that affect your self-esteem as a teacher? How do you stand in front of kids and still be able to attain respect?
So it's now difficult to attain respect from the kids, from the parents, from everyone, because now, of course, we try to reason, to say, look, guys, it's only because the economy is bad. But when the economy grows, we all need teachers, we all need nurses, and they said, no, let's look at where we are right now. We don't talk about tomorrow when we have today, that you can't buy food, that you can't buy medicine, that you can't buy even a pet for your own wife. And you can say, we'll look at tomorrow, whilst you can't look at today. So the teachers have lost dignity. They are now viewed. I can't say they are viewed. Teachers are now people who are recognized, or that's the standard for a person to be called poor. Teachers are now poor. They can't do anything. They are now visiting sangomas, maporofitas to get treatment because they can't afford to go to hospitals. I can't afford to go to clinic. I can't afford to visit even my own mother, who told when I was still young to go to school. I can't do anything for my parents. And for all the teachers that have entered the service after me, if you hear a teacher who has married, and when I say married, I mean going with a lobola to pay, I think it will be a fallacy. There's nothing like that. Teachers can't do anything as it stands.
Well, let's end at that said note, and hopefully we are going to continue to fight. We know Amalgamated Rural Teachers Union is a fighting union. You have done a lot for labor in this country. And the little benefits that teachers and civil servants everywhere are getting, including the US dollar allowances, all came through partly through ATU's campaigns. I know you had many rallies, and you walked from Tare to Harare, putting to the public that teachers and public service workers are struggling. So we hope that you will be able to pull through and continue with the struggle. But are you comfortable with answering this question before you give me your parting shot? Mugabe regime, Mnangagwa regime, in terms of teacher welfare, which one? I know they may all have been better or good, or they may all have been bad, but comparing the two, which one would you think was is better than the other? And then the last thing you can respond to is, are you, after all this, are you going to continue in the union fighting for workers' rights, or you are having second thoughts?
Okay, so to answer the first hard question, I think the Mnangagwa regime and the Mugabe regime are different sides of the same coin. Why am I saying so? I think we all witnessed what happened in the 2008, and it's now a replica of that 2008. Is now happening again in 2022. So I think they are this more alike, but maybe if I am to choose, of which I didn't want to choose, I would say the Mugabe regime is better, because in 2008 he was at a point that he was saying, okay, maybe let me just give Morgan the reins because I've lost. And I think Emmerson Mnangagwa said it in one of his rallies that it's me who told Mugabe and the others that no, you should not go. Let's use this clause in the constitution. So if I'm to choose, and him, Mugabe, accepting that maybe we should bring the opposition so that maybe the country can move forward, it's another a plus for him. It's unlike Mnangagwa, who is his political actors, those people who act comedy and say we are politicians. It's completely different. Then on the last question that you have asked whether I'm going to join or I will quit. I've told myself that I joined this fight not because of myself, but for the whole of the education sector, the teachers, the students, and Zimbabwe. So I will not be living at truth. Rather, what has happened to me is strengthening me, is strengthening my resolve to fight for labor justice. As workers now, we need to unite. I think if you can see what the state has done, Robert Chiduku was fired because of organizing the nurses, and they said that you did it during the times that we were supposed to be not doing it because people were working. But as labor organizations, we have a duty and a mandate to monitor and evaluate our employers, what they are doing, whether it's safe for the worker, whether the workers are getting a fair and reasonable wage. So I will not stop here. Rather, it is the beginning of my journey as a labor activist.
No, enough respect. You inspire all of us. Many people who have gotten into your situation gave up. I always tell people that you always look at the big names. You want to look at the presidents, Obed Masaraure, Peter Mutasa, and the general secretaries, but there are many heroes and heroines in the unions who are organizing on the ground and facing many difficult challenges we hope that teachers are going to be safe. And what is your view? 2023 elections, are teachers safe?
The teachers are not safe. We are not safe. The worker is not safe. No one is safe. It's Zimbabwe, except the few elites that are ruling, that are destroying our country. I think during the by-elections, we saw Mboneni Ngube, who was killed at a rally live. It was a live streamed rally and he was killed. We know what happened to Mo Blessing Ali. We now have teachers who are being displaced, who need accommodation. We are seeing now, there is another thing that I forgot to mention. The teachers for ED, what it is doing, it's threatening teachers that if you are not a member of teachers for ED, number one, you will not participate in electoral processes like being polling officers, whatever. You will come for you because you will be the people who will be undermining the authority of the president. So how we are not safe as workers.
Yeah, that's quite a sad situation that is brewing there. And to everyone who is watching us, who is looking, who is following this program, this discussion with Comrade Gerald, please keep an eye on Zimbabwean teachers, keep an eye on Zimbabwean nurses, especially those who are in rural areas. People are threatened, people are in danger as we age towards the 2023 election. We expect violence in the schools and we denounce it, and we hope the government will put all measures to ensure that there is no violence. Unfortunately, as Comrade Gerald explains, the institutions of state that are supposed to provide protection to people in danger are reluctant to deal with these issues, stating that these are political issues. So this is what teachers in Zimbabwe are going through. Zimbabwe's inflation is the highest to over 268%. And also interest rates over 200%, the highest in the world. So teachers' salaries have been seriously eroded and severely degraded, and teachers are now living as paupers, as Comrade Gerald have said. But we are very heartened that despite the challenges that they are facing, they are continuing to carry on, and we hope you will remain safe, Comrade Gerald, and all your friends. And we hope that justice will be attained soon. So thank you very much for coming to this program, The Worker Voice, and thank you for sharing your voice and sharing your experiences in a platform that you cannot get out there in our own platform as workers.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate what you've done. I will hope that the 2023 elections will be safe for everyone. People will be allowed to choose the leaders of their own choice, and there will be no violence whatsoever in our schools, in our hospitals, at our workplaces. Thank you.
Aluta continua. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.